Born and raised in Dallas-Fort Worth, also Christian, and I was pro-life for a very long time until I needed an abortion. Funny how that works. So it was the 20-week checkup when I found out I was having my daughter Haley, but also got terrible news that several parts of her body were missing, organs were missing. Several tests were done, many doctors and hospitals were involved. Ultimately, her condition did not condone life. If I did give birth to her, it would have been a very short, painful existence for her. By the time I decided that abortion was the right choice, it was illegal in Texas. I was 27 weeks. So I had to find a way. A friend of the family flew me to New Mexico that had one of the few late-term abortion clinics in the country. I then had to walk through protesters who told me nothing was wrong with my baby and that I was a murderer as I went through and made the most difficult decision of my life. That experience forever changed me. And because of the stigma that comes with abortion in our society, I couldn't talk about it. All I could say is I lost the baby, because if I said I aborted it, it would totally change the tone of the conversation of shame and judge. So I think that, even after I started to share my story and I did start to use the A word, abortion, people would be like, well, that wasn't really an abortion. Well, thanks for your opinion, but medically and legally it was. And we can't begin to think that we can put in this little hole everyone's situation, medical history, resources, support system. Like, there are so many variables that come into people making this choice, and the only person that should be making that choice is the woman herself. So I'm still a Christian, but of course I look at life and death a little differently. I think anytime you have to make a life and decision for your family, you just kind of look at that a little different. And I'm mad just like you. I'm a Texas woman. Of course I'm mad. So, but I think ultimately love is always the answer. You cannot take out darkness by yelling at it, cussing at it. The only way to take out darkness is light. And we have to start shining light on our stories and sharing your stories, even if it's scary as hell. And I'm part of that 0.4% of people who have an abortion after 20 weeks. And people look at that late-term abortion a little differently. I mean, every type of abortion is different. Again, we can't pigeonhole everyone into this tiny circumstance of we're all the same. They're all different stories. They're all different situations. So, again, I just encourage everyone to share your story. I know it's scary as hell. I'm shaking up here. Everybody's shaking up here. But just like RBG said, share your story even if your voice shakes. Last thing is just women's rights are human rights, ladies. Woman up.